We're gonna put you in the shot. You're in the shot.
Good. I'm in the shot.
You're in the shot. We focalized it.
I'll do some shots for our party. We're gonna have a party with General Tasby.
You're supposed to be hitting buttons.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Hitting buttons.
I had to wait for it to let me in though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know. Hit some buttons and try to get kicked out of some more groups. See what you can do.
Well, that's what we're here for.
We're here to get kicked out of some groups. Make our own groups. Got somebody in there besides you. Welcome, stranger. You're in a strange land. Whoop, whoop. It's Michael Shoot.
Whoop, whoop.
Charlie R.
Charlie R.
I mean, if we're going to give people names, I don't know. Has he got a name? You know him better than I do.
Charles. Choji. We used to call him Choji.
Because we already got a Chucky, so we can't go Charles to Chuck, so, you know.
Right.
Charlie R. Choji.
Yeah.
Choji. All right. Hello, Charles. Welcome to another edition. Let Alan get his buttons hit, and I entertain you for a few moments. It's a big show. It's a really big show
because we got
buckle those seatbelts real tight.
Oh my goodness! Did stuff happen this week? Were you guys paying attention? Because I
is my title an Iron Maiden song? What's he talking about?
I'm not 100%.
I don't know either.
But
I don't know. All the things.
All of the things.
We're talking about all the things this week. I told Alan we were talking about all the big things, so we would be Blink 183, and he just gave me the look. So. Well, all the small things already covered by Blink 182.
You're right. You're
so
right.
All the large things would be Blink 183.
Say it ain't so.
We got lots of stuff. Man, Wizards just like dropped an avalanche right on us this week.
Avalanche is a good term for it.
Avalanche of information. We're probably missing stuff.
Oh, God, yeah.
We're probably missing stuff.
See, I took a couple days away. We were doing something, and all of a sudden our float trip got canceled, and we stayed in Springfield. And I didn't look at my phone for about 24 hours. I told you that. And when I did, all of a sudden it was like, oh, what? Wait,
that was the wrong 24 hours to pick.
I was like, oh, yeah, there's going to be some previews starting and stuff, but then it wasn't just previews. It was, we got like 6 sets revealed to us.
What's happening for the next year plus?
It was a lot of stuff.
All right. Anyway, Alan should be getting close there. I see several folks waiting to hear us say something, so welcome back. Guildies and Guildettes, as I always welcome you. And boy, is it jam-packed. It is jam-packed tonight. Alan and I have been working hard on bringing you all the info we can squeeze into this hour. And we had the big announcement day from WotC. Yep. So they did it last year. They gave us a year's worth of stuff at once. So we're going to be going over that in a little bit.
They went even further this year, though. They didn't go further than a year, but we got the supplementals, too. We didn't get that last year.
That's true. We didn't know about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's more
even
stuff.
More supplementals, I'm sure.
There's more stuff they're not telling us, but we know some of it. They started out with Zendikar Rising, but they gave us a peek way, way ahead. So settle in. We may get a little bumpy, but like we always did, we just finished up with some Commander.
Right.
So Thursday nights come out and play Commander until 9 o'clock.
We had 2 full pods.
We could have done 3.
We could have done 3, yeah.
I sat out so that it balanced out when people dropped out and everything. I played 1, but anyway, had some Commander.
We some nerds with Southern accent.
We got Southern accent? Well, we're from Southern Missouri, so we got a Southern Missouri accent.
Right.
Thanks for noticing, y'all. But we just finished up Commander. Then Ikoria is going to get the nod tomorrow night for drafting instead of Core 21. Yes. So that's coming down the...
Ikoria, we barely knew you.
We barely knew you had a short season.
So we get one more draft in before we start hitting Zendikar times.
Then on Saturday, we're going to be doing Mystery Booster Mini Masters all day.
Ooh.
If you want to come out and play, and if there's nobody in here to play with, I'll play you a Mini Master.
All right.
And if you win, you get a surprise prize.
Ooh.
A surprise prize? You get a surprise prize, sir.
I like that.
Yeah. What could it be? And then Saturday night, is the second of our double feature back-to-back weekends of Board Game Saturday night. So come out for board games. So we'll be doing that. Now, that's what we got to talk about, local stuff.
Yeah.
But where do we start?
Happy Yargle Day.
Yargle Day.
We'll start with Happy Yargle Day. Today is 9-3.
9-3. Yargle is a 9-power, 3-toughness creature. Right. Happy Yargle Day.
The rest of the world is confused, though, because they use that backwards month-day thing. So.
Yeah, only in America do we do stuff. Hey, we don't know what that metric stuff is. So the whole world converts everything for us because we're special.
But so there's one place to get started with a Happy Yargle Day. They got a Yargle secret lair out there, which is just smiles because it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
So I thought we could start with Web Fiction is back.
Oh, God, thank God.
WotC listened, and Web Fiction has returned. You can get your story on the mothership every Wednesday, at least for the next 5 weeks. First one dropped yesterday.
Yep.
And on Friday, there's a supplemental to the regular story. So go out, read it. This week, it was called...
I was just looking at
In the Heart of the Skyclave.
You get Nahiri and Nissa?
Yeah, Nahiri's... I don't know, I watched somebody say that she didn't come across as real evil, but she don't come across as real friendly either.
She's very gray. She's very...
Yeah. So, anyway... Read the fiction. It's a good way to keep up the story. I don't know what's happened over the last 2 years since they went away from it.
But I'm glad
because even if you got the books were different from the cards. They killed people off, and then they didn't in the cards, they mix it. So anyway, done with that. So check that out. Wednesdays and Fridays for 5 weeks.
Right. So we'll be having Zendikar Rising story. Then obviously we'll should move on with each set, hopefully like we used to.
I hope so. So moving along, let's start, before we get to Zendikar Rising stuff.
Yeah, we'll hit that at the end of the show.
Let's talk about next year.
Let's talk about 2021. We're going to start, we've known it's coming for a long time.
We're going to spaz out a little bit because coming in the winter, that's the January set, Kaldheim.
It's coming, guys, Kaldheim.
The winter set. We think Snowlands and Snow Permanents are coming back.
Yep.
We're on board.
Yep.
We're all on board. They tested them out in Modern Horizons.
I hope we get that Frosty Planeswalker.
It broke Pauper in Modern, but I think they'll still do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, a card broke Astrolabe.
Astrolabe, yeah.
How could that go wrong?
So, and we better get a Squirrel, a legendary Squirrel.
Mm-hmm. Renatasker. Whatever his magic equivalent there be.
Whatever his magic equivalent be. Yeah.
I assume we'll probably see gods again. I don't know since we still have Theros gods, but I wonder if they're going to do Norse gods.
We might.
Some take.
We might. So Kaldheim is coming.
Yep.
Quarter 1, which is the winter set. Quarter 2, Strixhaven, School of Mages.
Yes.
Which everybody seems to think is going to be a Harry Potter-esque kind of thing. There's 5 colleges of magic. We assume 1 per color.
I would assume.
So I don't know if they're going to drop us like a wizard. I guess they're all. I don't know.
I guess they're all wizards.
Lots of wizards in that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Strixhaven. So we don't really know a whole lot about that. No. It's on a brand new plane.
Brand new plane.
Strixhaven's the name of the school. Mark Rosewater said.
Yep.
Not the name of the plane necessarily.
I'm guessing there's a lot of speculation right here. I believe this is where Kasmina, that we got introduced to back in War of the Spark. This is probably going to be her home.
Good speculation.
She's a wizard. We've never seen her home plane. This is a plane of all wizards. Seems like it matches. So,
I'm backing up just a minute.
Between those two sets?
No, I'm backing up to Kaldheim. Kaldheim is the winter set. It's the winter set. I forgot to say that a while ago. It's winter themed and it's in the winter.
Yes.
So, all right.
So we go to quarter 3 for premier sets.
Yeah, Premier, that's standard.
Right.
Yeah.
This is it, guys. We've been waiting almost 30 years at this point. It's the D&D set. It is Adventures on Forgotten Realms. Do we have a full name? It's
just Adventures in Forgotten Realms.
Adventures in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah,
it's taking the place of the core set for the year.
Hasbro has owned them both. Well, even Wizards owned them both. It's been 20-some years.
20, yeah. I mean, when it first happened, when Wizards made the buyout of TSR, we all like, well, how long before we get...
Cross the streams!
Right.
This is not a giant marshmallow we're talking about. Cross the streams.
It still blows my mind. I cannot believe the first crossover we got was Godzilla. When the best potential ever was sitting right, they had the rights to. They didn't.
Well,
have to
that's
go
a
anywhere.
little bit of a,
I know.
Secret layer.
Yeah, whatever.
What you did. This is a full blown. We better get beholders.
Oh god, mind flares.
Mind flayers. New creature types.
Drow. Are we gonna see dark elves? Of some
we ought
kind?
to get a bunch of dragons.
Right. We're definitely gonna get at least one drow. We all know that they're not going to Forgotten Realms without making a Dritz-Stewardin card, right, guys?
You wouldn't think.
You can't leave that much money just sitting out there, right?
We shall see. So that's coming up, and we're all real excited about that.
And then to finish off the year,
also Tony Dieterlizzi is going to be doing artwork in that. He does a lot of the D&D artwork. He's coming back to Magic. He hasn't been doing Magic art since around 20 years or so.
Yeah.
It's been a while since he did a Magic
You know
art.
him. He did a lot of stuff through Urza's block, Mass block, the original crop rotation art. That's Dieterlizzi. One of the brainstorm arts that got used for a long time was Dieterlizzi.
Yep.
Fodder cannon. If you know how to put your cousin in a cannon, you've seen his art.
And then get another cousin.
Get another cousin.
Yeah, it tells you on there step by step how to run that fodder cannon. It involves you kind of lining up some cousins.
Yeah.
Is what it does. Goblin cousins.
Family reunions, good time.
Goblin cousins. So that's going on.
That'll be real cool.
And then in quarter 4, we didn't get a lot of information on this.
It's going to be...
There are 2 full sets.
Yes.
Regular size sets on Innistrad in the 4th quarter.
We don't have names, full names right now. We have placeholder names of...
One is werewolf focused and one is vampire focused.
Innistrad werewolves, Innistrad vampires.
Focused.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they haven't really told us how they're doing this, but I'm assuming like we get one in September and one in December or something. Now, whether that means we don't get a winter set in January, I don't know.
I don't know.
Are they going to increase how many sets are in standard?
I don't know. That's a good question as well. I mean, it's already been confirmed when they said there were going to be 2 sets, but the craziest thing I heard beforehand was that 2 sets that all came out at the same time. That there was one set on one side of the cards, the other set was on the other side of the cards. And I'm like, no, that sounds insane.
No,
absolutely insane.
We'll get to the modal DFCs in a little bit, but no.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to choose if I get a vampire or a werewolf.
Right.
No. That's not happening.
That's insane.
That's insane. We're not doing that.
Right.
So that is coming out. So we just don't know. Let speculation run wild. How are they going to do it? Are they going to add another set in 2022 for the winter?
I don't know.
Are we
going to skip a set? Yeah, is standard going to get bigger?
That lets them get a set out for the holidays if they get it out in early December.
Instead of a supplemental product for the holidays?
Instead of a supplemental, yeah. But then what do we do in January?
Right. I don't know. Do we get an extra set? That's what it's going to come down to. Did we get an extra set for 2020?
So besides those, which are all the premier sets, all the standard sets that are coming,
right?
We learned that in somewhere between quarter 1, quarter 2, somewhere in
between
there,
Kaldheim and Strixhaven,
something like that, thereabouts.
Right.
Time Spiral Remastered.
Yep. Which
we haven't had a remastered set in paper before.
No. It's going to be interesting. It'll be kind of similar to a Master set, I would assume, that it's reprints, but we have a set limit on where our cards are coming from. It's coming out of the Time Spiral block.
Time Spiral, Planar Chaos, and Future Sight.
Right.
Now, they've done stuff like this on Magic Online.
And now Arena.
And now Arena got Amonkhet remastered.
Right.
So the cards coming out. The very cool thing they're doing with this.
The most important part of all this.
The most important part is they're going to reprint newer cards in old frames. So they already premiered some. Go out and look on the interwebs if you haven't looked.
And it is true old frames. We've had this conversation
pre-modern old frames. When I say old frames, I don't mean if you were around
Mirrodin or something.
Pre-cons, okay? I'm not talking about that.
No.
I'm talking about
old original Magic
brown artifacts.
Yes.
Chalice of the Void looks sweet.
It is beautiful.
Sweet.
Go
check it out.
We'd had this conversation before, and I just want to point out for everyone, because you said they would never do it. They'd never go complete old frames, but these are absolute old frames. No hollow stickers, none of that. It is just like...
Doesn't have the little information down in the corner like all the new cards have. Very wild.
It is an old frame.
And since it's a throwback to way back, it does have the purple time spiral symbol just skewed a little bit. It's got a line through it, or something. It's a little skewed.
And our foils are going to have the shooting star.
Shooting star.
Yeah.
How many of you are old enough to know what that is? The shooting star foils.
I am so excited in every way I don't even know how much I care about the set. Tell me what these old treatment cards
are going to be. Well, they're going to take 3 sets and condense them down into one. Give us the best of all the worlds, hopefully, right? Make it draftable. It should be exciting.
Yeah. No.
Just a subset.
I'm going to assume we're going to have a dedicated slot in the packs for a time-shifted card, essentially.
If they did it like the original one, every pack has one time-shifted card.
Right.
So there'll be commons that get time-shifted up to rares.
Right.
But the rarity is all basically the same
because
they appear in one slot. So
the cards we saw so far is, as he mentioned, we saw Chalice of the Void, which is just awesome. Then we also we saw Path to Exile is going to get the old frame treatment.
Yeah.
And I believe we saw something at Common, and I lost that one in my head.
There was just 3. Well, there was just 3, and I don't remember what the others were.
I remember Path to Exile because it also looked very good. Not as good as a brown artifact again. But it was fantastic.
I don't know if I can find it. I tried to cue some stuff up.
Oh, no, you're fine. I just remembered that, so I...
Recap. Let's look at the recap, because I don't remember what the third card was either.
Yeah, it was... They just kept hitting us with stuff, guys. Like I said, I took 24 hours off from the internet, and when I came to... that's the list,
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Relentless Rats. Relentless Rats. So, yeah. Another one. So... That's the 3 they previewed, and they all look really sweet in the old art. So looking forward to those. So we learned about that. That's in quarter 1, 2, in the middle, somewhere in there. And then, let's see.
Then between Adventures Unforgotten Realms.
Somewhere in the third to fourth quarter, we're going to get Modern Horizons 2. So that's coming out.
Little twist this time. We are going to have cards already in Modern. There will be Modern reprints. Especially, we have enemy fetches.
Those are confirmed at rare in the set.
Yes.
I don't know if there's others that are going to be in there, but those are in there. Those are confirmed. Enemy fetches, Modern Horizons 2 at rare. So, yeehaw.
There's there's another printing of fetches. Are we almost on to? Are we? I'll hit on a couple other things. I think we've hit most stuff now. A small announcement. I'll in here for a second.
Okay.
They, along with all this other stuff that happened when they were their big announcement day, Arena is confirmed coming to mobile now. I don't believe. I don't believe there's a date. Tablet, I think it could be awesome. I have no interest in ever playing it on a phone. I can't imagine seeing a battlefield, but
gotta be pretty tiny, doesn't it?
Yeah, a tablet I could see. Wouldn't be bad, but a phone, a little too small. But it is coming to mobile for all the people that have been asking. So that was another one of the big things that, I don't know, it took me a while to even see that. It all got lost in that day of so much stuff coming out.
Yeah.
So much.
I think we're up to Zendikar Rising.
We're up to Zendikar Rising.
We're up to the stuff we learned about Zendikar Rising now. So, if you've been waiting for that, this is the part we're doing that.
This is where we're doing that Zendikar part.
Whew, okay.
There's a lot.
The first thing you need to know, well, I don't know, there's a lot of first things, but expeditions are back.
Yes.
So, if you were around the last time we revisited Zendikar, which was Battle for Zendikar.
Right.
They tested out something that would later become masterpieces. And they were called expeditions. They were all lands, different frame treatment, full art, foily, shiny, pretty, awesome.
Yes.
all those things.
I want
all the things.
I want to point out that even though he says expeditions are back, and they are, masterpieces are not technically back if you want to put them in the same category. These are cards that have the expedition treatment, but you're not going to find them in your normal booster packs like you did with masterpieces.
That's
the original
true.
Expeditions.
That's true, but they are still called expeditions.
They are still called expeditions. They have the same kind of frame and treatment that those original expeditions did.
We got 30 of them.
Yep.
And they've all been spoiled, so they're all...
I've missed a few of them then, the last 4.
They're all out there. Day 1.
Okay, I must have missed the last I knew that there was 4
They
missing.
did. By day 2, you should have been able to see all of them. So we got the 10 fetches.
We got the 10 fetches.
We're not going to go through all of them, but we got the 10 fetches. We got, 5 of the... Was it the Buddy Lands?
Yeah, I'm
trying to remember what it was, because this just shows the fetches.
We got the Commander Lands. The 5 of those out of Battle Bond.
Oh, yeah, we got those.
We got Strip Mine, a Wasteland.
Yep. It doesn't have them here. This is just the fetches. Prismatic Vista. So again, the list is out there, guys. You can go see them all. You can see exactly what they are.
Yes. These are going to be coming as box toppers when you get a pack, a booster box of any kind.
Buy a booster box.
Draft boosters or set boosters will come with 1 box topper. A box of collector boosters is going to come with 2 box toppers, guys.
And all of those are non-foil.
The only chance to get a foil expedition will be in a collector booster pack.
And the odds are 1 in 6. There are 12 in a box, so you should approximately get 2 out of every box. They don't guarantee that.
No.
But most collector booster boxes, you're going to get 2 foil fetches.
Yep.
So...
I think I may have mentioned this a month or more ago, that this is what I thought was going to happen with Fetch Lands. But we got more than just Fetch Lands, thankfully. We got a beautiful expedition cycle, so I'm down for it.
Yeah, some real sweet-looking cards. So go check those out when you get a chance. I like the frame treatments. They look really, really cool.
While we're on, before we get into normal Zendikar Rising cards, I think let's jump right here into the stuff that you might be able to get that's not technically a Zendikar Rising card. Is that fair? You want to hit the list?
The list. Okay, so if you're not familiar, we're getting set boosters to go along with the other types of boosters, the theme boosters and the draft boosters and the collector boosters. Right. Now, I get set boosters.
We went over those a few weeks ago.
There is a slot in there where you get either a token or a card from the list.
It's 25% of the time.
It's a curated list of 300 cards.
Yep.
If you go watch Good Morning Magic from Gavin from yesterday or the day before, I lost track. I think it was yesterday. He opens a couple of them, and he does hit 1 out of 2.
Yep.
So
they had showed us a couple cards before when they first said the list existed. And they've now they showed us 3. They showed us 1 at each rarity. They've now shown us another 3. We got, for our common slot, which is an awesome common, by the way, we got Simian Spirit Guide, which, cool reprint.
Yep.
An uncommon slot, we got Slimefoot the Stowaway.
Who doesn't like Slimefoot?
Who doesn't like Slimefoot? I mean, it's not a money card, but it's just an awesome card. And then, the rare slot they showed us, this is the first time this card has ever been reprinted. It's about a $70 card, I believe. Big in a lot of combos. This is a big-time card. It is Food Chain.
Food Chain.
Food Chain will be on the list.
It's on the list. It's in there. You got a chance to pull one.
The 2 rares they've showed us so far is they've shown us that and Pact of Negation. So they are putting juicy stuff on this list.
They also, am I right in this? They moved the Planeswalker symbol all the way to the corner? Are the others all the way down in the corner?
They're all down.
Are they? I thought they had them in a little slightly different place. All right. So
because remember they're in that opposite corner where it's hard to see when you sort.
Yeah, I know it's on that opposite. I just didn't think they were that far down in the corner. So anyway,
if they did. I didn't notice that.
That's what's coming. So in Zendikar Rising, proper.
Yes,
we got 2 returning mechanics. One that got spoiled last week after we did our show because they showed us Jace. And with Kicker.
Yep.
So Kicker's coming back.
Kicker's
it's an additional cost.
Yep.
So when you play the spell, you can play it normal, or you can pay the Kicker cost and get additional effects. So that's coming back. And then we also have, Landfall.
We got Landfall.
If we didn't get Landfall, what are we doing back in Zendikar?
Yeah.
We should get Landfall. It's the Lands Matter.
We all knew
set.
we were going to get Landfall because they knew they had to make up for Battle for Zendikar. And Landfall does it. So those are our 2 returning mechanics.
We also get a new mechanic called Party.
Yes, it's not really a mechanic, it's a batch.
Well, it's a keyword.
Yeah.
And they're using the batching technology they tried out in Dominaria.
Yes.
In Dominaria, they used batching for
Historic.
Which
was legendary permanents, artifacts, and sagas.
Yep. Those
Made
things.
historic.
3 things. So this time there are 4 things in a batch.
Yes.
And a party terminology. So warrior's the closest thing we got to a fighter.
Right.
So you need a warrior, and then you need a rogue, and you need a cleric, and you need a wizard.
Yes.
And that's your 4 to have a full party. And a lot of spells trigger off how full your party is.
Yes.
If you have a full party, you get maximum spell reduction, or you gain maximum life, or whatever the spell does. Because each one will be different.
They could get pumped, they could do extra damage, they could cost less mana, depending. One thing I pointed out to somebody earlier, and I want to point out, even though it's not a standard thing, is that one creature can only count for one thing. If you guys have seen any of the spoilers and you've seen like the Paragon, that is all. It still only counts for one of those slots. You have to have 4 creatures, full party.
You old people playing changelings in Commander, you still need 4 different changelings.
You still gotta have 4 changelings.
Yeah, one changeling doesn't.
Right.
That's not a full party.
Yeah. No, you could just break a couple of these cards.
A party of 1 is just sad.
Right.
Even in Magic and D&D, it's just sad. Okay.
So there is some hoops to jump through, but there are some good rewards we've already seen.
We're both on. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm not sure. But it seems like it would have been a good mechanic to put in the Forgotten Realms set D&D. Yeah. So are they going to use it twice?
Because, like I said, I can't think of. I know it probably has happened, but I can't think of the same mechanic from 2 sets in the same standard rotation. You know, usually if we had cycling. We're not going to have cycling until. Ikoria gone.
The more I think about it, the more I just don't think they're going to do that, which just seems like a miss.
It does.
Because reading Blogatog, Mayro talks about the threshold for this batch matters. Most of the creatures, not all, but most of them have one of these creature types.
Yeah.
So are we going to get another set where most of the creatures have these 4 creature types?
It really feels like we should, but then we're really powering up this party stuff, making it easier.
Is green going to get hosed twice in 1 year?
Speaking of a word you just used, threshold. We have pseudo-threshold in the set, not keyworded, and it's 8 cards now. I found that weird. Have you noticed that?
They've done it before.
Have they?
Yeah.
Because it's threshold, but it's not threshold. And it's 8 cards instead of 7.
Mattering about how many cards are in the graveyard.
Yeah.
They've done some stuff like that. So.
Okay. Because, like I said, it seems like threshold to me. I remember threshold, but it's 8 cards. So
I guess they've determined 7's not enough.
I was wondering because
8 is just too sweet. Correct. I don't know.
I was like, 1 more card? Is it that much difference for these abilities? So, do we want to get into?
It's very flavorful. And then I saw something on the interwebs today, but there's a little card out there called Outlaws of Merriment.
This is one of our Robin Hood cards out of Eldraine. It made the Merry Men. You make all of them.
You get everything you need. As this thing said, you need the wizard to bring the bottle. Yeah, and you've got a party,
and you've
or the food or something.
Yeah,
because it'll make your cleric, your warrior, and your rogue. So that's red white. I don't know if that card. It probably already spiked on the interwebs or something, right? So there's your red and white way to get.
People were posting
3/4 of a party.
People were posting it when I was coming across. When I was trying to go through all the massive stuff that happened that day. I was off the internet. Outlaws Merriment was posted, and I was like, I'd already seen Party. I'm like, they're reprinting that already. I guess it makes sense because of the ability. But then I was like, oh wait, no, someone's just posting saying this card is good.
It's not been spoiled as a reprint. It's currently in standard.
Yes,
so
it's still in standard.
It's still in standard. And then the second new ability we have, which it's new, but it's not totally new.
Right.
So we have DFCs back, but now they're modal.
They are not.
So they're MDFCs.
They do not transform, yes.
You choose at the time you play it which side you want to play. So the easiest ones are the pathway lands, which can be played on either side, and each side taps for a different color of mana.
Right.
I refuse to call them dual lands, but we can call them choice lands or record lands if you like. I'm also not calling them cassette lands. Records are older than cassettes. Because you got an A side and a B side.
Right.
You choose which side to play. On the green, let's see, I'm trying to remember. The green, is there a green black? Green, I know there's a green white one.
Yeah.
So
we got 6, so it's hard to remember which ones we got.
6, we'll talk about that in a minute. So you choose if it comes in to tap for green or white. Right. You get the choice. Yeah. And then it's locked into that. It doesn't change.
No, there's no way to change it. Unless you can bounce it to your hand and replay it.
And once it goes to graveyard, its orientation doesn't change, I believe is correct.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that. I didn't know if it went back to its main side.
Well, I don't think there is a main side. Is there?
They each have a main side.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I don't know if we go up, if they show pathways in this. You may be right. The pathways may not have a main side. Just the other cards.
Can I click on one so we can look at it? Is that the other side of it over there? Okay, I don't think there's a main side to them.
Okay, I thought there was to all of the cards. No. To all of our modal DFCs, they had a... Yes, they do have a main side. Okay. This is the main side. Because that's inverted. You have white lettering on a black background instead of the black on the colored.
Okay.
That's the back. I know specifically they talk about it with the other cards because in your hand it's only ever its front. On the ones that are like a spell or a creature and then a land on the back. Okay. It's only ever its front while it's in your hand.
Okay. Anyway, we've bored a bunch of people to tears now, jacking about that. It's got a main side.
Yeah.
I know the spell lands that have a land on the other side. They have the main side. And then you get the choice of either casting them for their spell or playing them as a land.
Right.
So that's a choice.
Now those I believe are very cool. I like those.
I think they're gonna be really great and limited.
Yeah.
Some of them may make it into constructed. We'll see. Depends on exactly what all we have because they're not all spoiled yet.
No, they're not all spoiled. I've heard there's supposed to be a large number of them in the set, so I don't know how many we're going to end up seeing.
So that's the modal DFCs.
Yep. And I'll go ahead. Sorry, I wandered off on my own.
That's the new mechanics. Just a minute. We got a few other things that we're going to hit first. We're saving the oohs and the ahs till the end to go over some of the cards. Just some quick hits here, real quick though, is that the buy a box card is no longer unique like it has been in the past. There'll be no more Nexus of Fate issues.
Right.
So it is now just an alternate art card that's already in the set, but it has different art, and it's also a full art
it's a different treatment,
extended art that they call
borderless, extended, whatever the.
So look for that. Only available at your LGSs.
Yep.
And we also hear that they're taking a year off of doing the Magic Hall of Fame because they're going to redo the Magic Hall of Fame.
The Pro Tour Hall of Fame is what it was called.
Yeah, they're going to re-envision it, and hopefully with this re-envisioning, we'll get people in there like Richard Garfield. He did invent it. He ought to be in the Hall of Fame.
I feel that's fair.
Mayro's been leading R&D for 20-plus years. He should probably be in there.
He helped plan the first Pro Tour.
Sheldon Menery, the godfather of Commander. He should probably be in there.
And one of the first, level 5 judges, right?
Yeah. He's a judge emeritus at this point. So there are just, and then there's going to be some content creators. Marshall Sutcliffe ought to be in there. Ought to be in there. I think Evan Irwin ought to be in there.
How long before Seth is allowed? How long before Saffron Olive makes it? Because
I don't know.
Who pumps out more content, as you said?
I don't know. He pumps out a lot. So anyway, there should be more people in that Hall of Fame.
It should be open to
content creators.
We should get some artists in there.
We should get artists in there. Dieter Lizzie ought to be in there.
Yeah.
We ought to get cosplayers in there. Christina Sprinkle ought to hit that.
She brought Magic cosplaying to mass
So there's a lot of people that ought to have a chance at being in there. So, moving along, if you like cartoons, comics, funnies about your hobby, Cardboard Crack is back.
Oh.
So he took just under 3 years off. He signed off September 17th, 2017, said he's taking a break. And the first new one was just a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
I don't think he's doing them daily, but go check it out. Cardboard Crack. I shared it up earlier today. There is new Cardboard Crack, so check that out.
Oh, you did have this in the notes.
Yeah, you want to talk about this? Do you know anything about this?
So, along with the big announcement video with Zendikar launch, Zendikar Rising launch, and which I haven't watched all of it. I know it was cool. They had Jimmy Wong doing yada yada, but
Indiana Jones style,
right? Yeah. At one point in this, they showed a link to where you could go buy a pair of Jace Valerian K-Swiss shoes. There were a limited edition pair of shoes where there are only 300 pairs made.
300.
I'm not sure what the price on these things were. I want to say they're a couple $100 or something to start with. From what I hear, from when I listen to Magic Mike's, Evan Irwin, as we just mentioned, he said that he went to the website as soon as the link was available on screen in the stream, and they were already sold out.
2 minutes.
2 minutes is what I've heard.
2 minutes sellout.
2 minutes, they sold out.
There's your collectible, and I heard they were going on eBay for $500 or $600 immediately after.
Immediately after.
So if you're a shoe collector,
sneakerheads are a thing. I don't get it, but man, this is aimed right at them, and must be.
And if you want to talk about kicking Jace, that'd be the way I'd do it.
Yeah. Oh, there's been a lot of good jokes with that.
That would be the way I'd kick Jace.
Walking all over Jace all day, I tell you.
I would be all over that.
I just heard this.
Another thing that just got released a few days ago is that WizKids is making a life-size foam, I believe it is.
Yes.
But like 5'6" Chandra. I don't know what quantity is going to be available in, but I'm not going to have one. This thing retails for about $1,200. Yep. Life size.
Life size Chandra Nellar.
Life size. That's a big Chandra.
That's a big Chandra.
That's a big Chandra. So if you're really into that kind of stuff, maybe you want to check into that. That's wowza. I don't know how limited that is either. So I don't know that they're taking pre-orders just yet. I also heard that WizKids had already tested the waters, and they did a life-size goblin not too long ago for Pathfinder, I think it was.
Oh.
So I had read about that. So that's also another thing.
That's a button I was looking for.
Yeah, he's looking for some buttons over here. He's tired. He's tired. He can't even find a button.
Well, I was just going to go ahead.
His eyes don't work good. All right.
I was going to try to help get us ahead here, Dan.
Get ahead? Why do we need to get ahead? Are we behind?
No, we're not. I was just going to,
He'll just go to sleep while we're talking about the other things.
I know, but I didn't know, I was trying to remember what the name of this first one here is.
All right, so last week we talked about how Mark Rosewater had just spoiled, and I think we went over them briefly.
Yeah, his teaser for
his teasers, and we already know some of them, so we're going to go over those teasers this week. He's been doing this for the last few sets. He did it for years back through the Duelist magazine, back pre-internet. I know some of y'all don't know what that means, but pre-internet.
It was a thing.
There was a time before the internet existed, and it coexisted with magic.
Yeah.
and we got along just fine.
Yeah, it was weird.
So, anyway, here's some teasers. The first teaser he gave us was a white creature that can make an opponent lose the game simply by attacking them, no matter how much life they have. And we actually know this one.
Yeah. It's a white angel. And I believe it is if you have 15 life more than your starting life.
As soon as it comes up here, I thought you were helping get us ahead.
It is Angel of Destiny.
He's my boy. I got to give him a hard time.
For 2 white, 3 generic. It's an Angel Cleric.
2/6.
2/6 flying double strike. Weird stat line. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each gain that much life. Weird text, right? It's like lifelink, kinda, but you're also... Anyway. But at the beginning of your end step, If you have at least 15 life more than your starting life total, each player Angel of Destiny attacked this turn loses the game.
Makes you want to have multiples out or extra attack steps or something.
Yes. When
clones,
I said each
copies, clones, copies. Let's hit everybody and do all the folks at once.
When I read that, I was like, each player. I'm like, oh, we need extra attack steps. Boros, we need Boros.
I don't think we know this one yet, or at least I haven't noticed it. A multicolored creature that lets you repeatedly reanimate permanents out of your opponent's graveyard for no mana. Have we gotten that one?
Yes. This is. No, never mind. That's out of our own graveyard, not someone else's.
Yeah. I didn't think we'd seen that one. So what can that be? Let's watch for it.
Yeah.
Right? 3 creatures with 5 creature types.
We've seen one of them.
We've seen one. I think that's a bit of a misnomer. That's not actually true. Right? They can have one of those creature types.
No. They are all of those creature types.
Well, then I'm thinking something different.
It's the Paragon. Is also a cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard.
Okay, I thought you had to choose one.
No.
My bad.
So
we've seen one.
I'm going to assume that we'll get, since this one's an elf, that maybe we'll get whatever the other main races of Zendikar, maybe we'll get them.
Well, 3 of them, so.
Right.
It's good that they may all be in green, because green got the short stick.
That's true.
I don't know if we're going to go over that anywhere, but green got the short stick, because all the other colors get primary, secondary, and tertiary in different things, and green didn't get it in any. So
warriors, you got some, right?
Well, they have some of all, but they're not primary, secondary, or tertiary in any of these.
That's fair. Okay.
An artifact granting +2/+2 to a subset of creatures that first appeared in Alpha. I don't remember seeing a +2/+2. Do you?
I do not. Look at the artifacts again here real quick, and no.
Flying, equipped creature.
No.
Equipped creature.
We just have some equipment so far.
We don't know that one yet. X being used for a variable it's never been used for before. I don't believe we've seen that either.
I remember the X.
A 6/6 artifact creature that costs 3. Haven't seen that one yet.
But this next one.
A 7 power 5 toughness artifact creature that can cost 3. We have seen.
That is Seagate Colossus.
It costs 7.
Right.
For 7/5, or
it costs 1 less for each in your party.
Remember, that's a warrior, a cleric, a wizard, or rogue.
Yep.
So if you have all 4 of those, it's just going to cost 3 mana.
Yep. 3 mana, 7/5 seems okay.
Not too shabby. The return of 4 mana symbols that have each only ever been used on 2 cards before.
We were right with the Two-Brid, wrong with what it was going to be on. It's
what did we say it was going to be?
I thought maybe Omnath, because he was 4-color. We knew he was going to be 4-color. So
no, we got
Tazri.
Oh, it's Tazri. It's a white card.
We got a new Tazri.
So I don't know if we're going to get it in other places, but yeah, we got a new Tazri. So we'll go ahead and go over that since we're here. Tazri, Beacon of Unity. It's a white and 4 for a 4/6 human warrior.
Yep.
And this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. So we just went over that.
Yep.
And then for
a Two-Brid of every color but white.
Two-Brid, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and/or ally cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I believe that's the only reference to allies in the whole set.
Yep.
Allies didn't make the set because they did the party thing.
Yep. That's our little commander reference for the people still playing, wanting allies decks and a new Tazri to run on.
Yep.
It's right there.
It's there. But they just didn't have room to fit ally. It didn't fit on the type line.
Right.
By the time you say, like, demon, warrior, ally, or there's just too much room. So we did not get allies. Lands that come with a choice you've never had before. And we called this in Transform, but we'd had some spoilers kind of early on. Targeted enchantment removal in black.
Yep.
We did get that. That has been spoiled.
Destroy target creature or enchantment and opponent controls.
Feed the Swarm.
That's the name.
For a black and 1. Sorcery speed.
Destroy target creature or enchantment and opponent controls, and you lose life equal to that permanent's converted mana cost. So I had a feeling there was going to be some kind of trade-off like this.
Yeah, I remember. If you remember, I said there was going to be life loss doing with this. Right. Maybe that was on Blog and Talk. I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, they finally decided. The Council of Colors got together. Red can't deal with enchantments, but why is it that Black couldn't deal with enchantments or artifacts? Red can deal with artifacts.
Right.
So they decided to give Black the ability to deal with enchantments as long as it's not their own. Black has a lot of stuff going all the way back to Necro.
Yeah.
Necropotence. Of things that if it could get rid of would probably be just a little broken in a mono black world. So the caveat is they can't get rid of their own enchantments. But yeah, they're starting to get ways to get rid of opponents' enchantments. A red/white creature with a line of rules text that starts with whenever and ends with a draw a card. Do we have that? I don't know. We should have looked this one up.
We do not have that. I'm going to assume that our guess is going to be right, but we do not have that.
It's going to have something to do with equipment. We're pretty sure of that. A card with 3 different activated abilities that all copy something. And I don't believe we've seen that either. And then he gave us some snippets of rules text that I thought we'd go over real quick. It says 3+, and we've had cards that say 2+, a couple of them. And then there's a card that says different converted mana cost X or less. And then
equal to 20-.
Yeah, we've had like the old Shapeshifter card said 7-.
That's right.
And Mind Bomb said 3-, I think, or something -3. Cowards can't block warriors.
We haven't seen that yet.
We haven't seen that. Boldware Intimidator says it, but it's been printed a bunch of times.
Right.
I just can't imagine.
There's not more.
It's not in here, yeah. Right. And cowards can't block warriors. Does that mean we're going to get some cowards?
All right, we haven't seen any cowards.
We haven't seen cowards yet, so warriors are in here. We know that. Don't lose unspent red mana.
Haven't seen that yet. Been watching.
We've had don't lose unspent mana, but not red mana.
Yeah.
So that's new. Twice the number of equipment, and that's on Nahiri.
Right.
Nahiri, we got that last week. And then if it's the 3rd time, is going to appear on at least one card. And that does appear on 3 different elementals out of Lorwyn. That was the 3rd time that you do something. One of them gets you red mana. One of them deals damage, and one gives your creatures first strike or something, if I remember right. So those are some of the teasers, and we're already getting some of the stuff coming out that they're doing. So, Alan, in the last 10 minutes or so we got here, do we want to go goo-goo gaga about some of the stuff?
Yeah, we got some cards here.
I'm not going to necessarily go gaga goo-goo. This appears to be a new one. Or is that? No, it's not a new one.
Yeah.
I really hope that some of these lands, these spell lands, have other than just... They don't have a basic type on them, but I hope they do more than just tap for mana. Yeah. So far, we haven't seen any, and I really hope some of them have special abilities.
Right.
And right now, we haven't gotten one, and that's concerning to me. If lands matter, I really want these things to have some other abilities.
I am absolutely with you on that.
So, we do have a couple...
We have the man land, which is the most interesting land we've seen yet.
Creature land.
I apologize.
I do like it. Yeah. Crawling Barrens, yes.
It's a totally new take on a creature land than we've ever seen before, I believe.
Yeah, because for 4 mana, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Then you may have it become a 0/0 elemental creature till end of turn. It's still a land. Oh, it doesn't automatically.
No.
And the counters stay.
Yeah.
So you can just pump, when you got extra mana, you just pump some counters in there.
Yep.
And then when you're ready to swing...
And yeah, it's 4 mana. I mean, it can be used as a blocker as well.
It's a good mana sink. It's a mana sink.
It's expensive that first time. You're paying 4 mana for a 2/2, but that gets better and better because those counters stay. Like
again, it's just a good mana sink to be using on stuff. Yeah. So, artifacts,
a lot of equipment. They're doing something cool with equipment here.
We're getting the colored equipment, which we're getting used to.
All the equipment we've seen so far, the cool thing is that all equipped for free when it comes into play.
It enters attached, yeah.
Which is probably really help with the playability of something. Now, in return for this, their actual equip cost, if what they're equipped to dies or anything, their actual equip
seems
cost
a little expensive.
Is overcosted. But in a more aggro-like setting, I mean, it comes in and attaches immediately, and that can make a difference depending. Make a big difference, so.
Let's see. So in white, do we have anything we talked about the Angel of Destiny that can just win you the game.
Do we want to talk about the mythic land? The modal land?
We'll get to, is there anything, I mean, we're not going to go over every card here.
Right, well, that's the first one I saw that was important.
Okay.
It's Miria's Call. It's a sorcery on one side for 3 white, 4 generic, and you create 2 4/4 white angel warrior creature tokens with flying. Non-angel creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. But the other side of that, this is one of our modal dual-faced cards, and it is a land that comes in. It's called a Myria Shattered Skyclave.
Yep.
And it comes in as a Myria Shattered Skyclave enters the battlefield. You may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped, and it taps for 1 white.
And it just taps for a white.
It just taps for a white. So
I feel like that ought to have another ability on there. It's a mythic. I really felt like it ought to have another ability.
I do too.
Like pay some mana, make an angel or something.
Especially with the 3 life to up that to a bolt land, if somebody wants to call it. Just getting 1 color. Whew. I mean, I get its options. It's the second side of the card. But
that's why I'm worried that we're not going to get special lands, that we're only getting them that tap for colored mana.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid that it's broken or something. But
I'm afraid they're going to make the mechanic not strong enough, is one of my fears in doing that.
So another unique card I thought was the Legion Angel, which is 2 white and 2 for an Angel Warrior, flying, 4/3. And when Legion Angel enters the battlefield, you may reveal a card you own named Legion Angel from outside the game and put it into your hand. So it's sort of a Squadron Hawk ability, but you got to keep them in your sideboard. You got to use sideboard slots.
Right.
Which I guess for best of ones on the arena, as it was pointed out to me, is a good thing.
That's why this
in the
was
rest
created.
of the world, it probably is going to.
Probably.
I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, probably.
Because if you got 3 in your sideboard, there's only 1 in your main. I'd rather have 4 in there with a greater chance to draw it, I think, than just having chance of drawing 1. It just seems not good.
I'm gonna hit the Skyclave Apparition. It's kind of a different take on a weird removal, but not. I don't know. This thing's
a creature.
It's a creature. It's a 2/2 core spirit for 2 white and 1. When Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. So you're getting your O-Ring, whatever
an O-Ring style, or
you're exiling. Here's the thing.
Banisher Priest.
Here's the thing. When Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the converted mana cost of the exiled card.
That card's gone.
That card's gone. They're not getting it back. They get back a token, up to a 4/4, because you can't only do stuff 4, but that's very interesting to me. They're not getting that back like you're used to in that O-Ring style. They're just getting back a
non-land, non-token permanent. So you could hit an artifact, you get an enchantment. But when that goes away, they're going to get a 4/4 illusion, or whatever the casting cost.
Right, that's pretty cool. I think that's
kind of new. That's we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, that looks like about all we've got in white so far.
That's white. That's the main. We're just hitting kind of rares, mythics, and stuff like that.
The stuff that made us go blah, 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 blah.
Because we usually do a review of the draftable stuff before we start drafting it when the set comes out. We'll hit it.
Okay. Here's this card to stop all the ramp that rotates. All right. Confounding Conundrum. It's a blue and 1 enchantment, and when Confounding Conundrum enters the battlefield, draw a card. So that helps already.
It's pretty good.
Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under their control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner's hand. Now, this stops them from putting so many lands on the board, but I want everybody to... It does not shut down the entire strategy of this ramp. I do want to point out a few things.
Landfall.
Landfall still triggers. Also, unless I'm correct, you could still be tapping... If you're being able to play multiple lands per turn, you can still be tapping floating mana, bouncing a tapped land back as you play a new land. And still being up mana for the...
And you're going to get another landfall trigger when you replay that land.
So, it does do something to the... But it's not all the answers, but it is good. It is a good answer for... It does... It is really cool if you go first and say modern and you can stop one of their fetches, but anyway...
So next we have Seagate Stormcaller for a blue and 1. It's a 2/1 human wizard with kicker of a blue and 4.
Which makes him cost 7. Ugh. But go on.
When Seagate Stormcaller enters the battlefield, copy the next instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost 2 or less you cast this turn when you cast it. If Seagate Stormcaller was kicked, copy that spell twice instead. You may choose new targets for the copies. So it's a not Snapcaster at all, but kind of playing in the space. It's making copies, but no flash.
No flash. What Saffron Olive pointed out that I found interesting, though, because it's spell with converted mana cost 2 or less. We got Into the Royal back, right? Kicking doesn't count towards a converted mana cost. So say you had 11 mana to do all this. If you played this guy
all the time,
right.
But it'd be green.
You kick and Into the Royal, you're gonna get double the effects, double the kicked effects. Even though, so if it's CMC is still 2, but its kicker puts it above, you can still copy that. That doesn't affect the CMC. Just for everyone to remember.
I'm gonna shout out to an uncommon here. Where my mill people at? Mill people, you out there? If you liked Hedron Crab, you'll love Ruin Crab.
Yeah.
Also costing a blue, also a 0/3, also a crab, also with landfall. One slight change. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 3 cards.
Did you see the change? Did you notice the change?
Each?
Yeah, that's the one.
Each.
They're really pushing us to try to make it mill a viable commander win con, aren't they?
It's viable. There's lots of ways to do it. As long as people don't get mean and just throw Eldrazi's in there so that it shuffles.
Well, sorry for trying to stop that.
You want to talk about the 1-mana tutor play for free card?
Yeah, this right here is exactly why, thank God, Changeling doesn't cover all 4. We've completely broke the system, if so. So you have to have 4 creatures. This card is coveted prize. It's a black and 4 sorcery. For the ability, that wouldn't be bad, but let's get to this first, the rider at the front first. This spell costs 1 less for each creature in your party.
Party is 4.
So that's possible to be 1 black.
Full party, you can cast it for 1 black.
Okay, well, what's the spell do? You search your library for a card. Oh, I see where this is going. Put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. 1 black sorcery tutor, that's better than demonic. Oh, wait, there's more text down here.
It still goes.
If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So for 1 mana, I get to go tutor up any 4 mana card in my deck and put it into play for free?
As long as you got a full party.
This seems
makes me want to have a full party. I can tell you that.
I like to party. I like to party.
Whoop whoop. Michael Shoop, you still in there? Oh, yeah.
Man.
All right, we got, is this the 3rd or 4th incarnation for Drana?
Third, I believe.
Third for sure.
3rd for sure, yeah.
Drana, the last Blood Chief, because that's what she is.
Yep.
2 black and 3. She's a 4/4 vampire cleric with flying.
Yeah, that's right. All the other vampire chiefs are dead, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whenever Drana, the last Blood Chief, attacks attacks, defending player chooses a non-legendary creature card in your graveyard. You return that card to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. The creature is a vampire in addition to its other types.
That seems really good.
Don't sound bad. Don't sound bad. Sounds like I would play that. Well, that's not bad over there either.
Okay, yeah. The Scavenger. Nighthawk Scavenger. This is our Vampire Nighthawk all souped up.
Well, it's been partying with Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, they've been, because for 2 black and 1 you get Flying Death Touch Lifelink. Hey, that sounds right. He's a 1+*3.
Yeah.
Nighthawk Scavenger's power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyards.
Opponent's graveyards.
Yes.
Another commander playable, but it does have a 3 toughness.
Does have a 3 toughness, which does
Modern
not get
players
bigger.
Look sad.
Yeah, he still gets bolted.
Commander players look glad.
Yeah. Pioneer guys. Hey, Pioneer ain't no bolt. They can't shock him. So
yep.
He's good. He's good. Then we got that one that looked pretty good. Or do you want me to take it so you can?
Yeah, go ahead and do that, and I'll hit.
Yeah,
this
I figured so. Soul Shatter, Mia Likes. It's a black and 2 instant. Instant. All right. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converted mana cost among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Oh my god, they made an edict that is fan-freaking-tastic. And they only made us pay 1 more mana for it. This could see play, guys. This might see older format play. You can't really play Diabolic Edict at 2 mana, but... Ooh.
It looks really good. It looks really, really, really good.
It does.
And then I'm mainly excited for this next one because it's just good all the way around, but it is going in my Athreos Cleric deck because all hell Athreos.
I just want to say, guys, power creep in recent years, I feel like this is just way too much text for a black and 2. You go ahead, but
there's a lot of clerics I want to play out of this. It's already been spoiled, but this is a black and 2, Tabarax, Hope's Demise. He's a demon cleric, 2/2 flyer for a black and 2. Right there, you just want to play
I'm on board.
You're on board. He has lifelink as long as he has 5 or more +1/+1 counters on him. Well, that's awesome. How do I get those on there? Keep reading. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Tabarax. If that creature was a cleric, you may draw a card. If you do, you lose 1 life. Did I mention I have an Athreos that is all clerics? All clerics, and it is so much fun. Would you like to pay 3, or does that come back to my hand? Because there's a dice trigger. Oh, it comes back to my hand. Nice. I'm going to pay a life, draw a card, too. That's all good.
The super upside here is that you may draw a card if you do lose a life.
Yeah.
It's not one of those automatic where you accidentally kill yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, trigger. Oh.
No. None of that business.
Oh.
All right, so what are we doing?
Brad, we need to hit a common first.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the name of it.
Cleansing Wildfire. Oh, my goodness.
Did you ever think that you would see a card that costs 2 mana, since Sinkhole, to destroy a land?
Yeah.
2 mana.
It's better than Sink. Well, no, I don't know if it's better than Sinkhole. Cleansing Wildfire, a red and 1 sorcery. Destroy target land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tab, then shuffle their library. Play basics now. And it has a draw card rider on the bottom. Yes.
It seems really good. Pauper friendly.
Yeah. This is a common, guys. It's
a common.
Pauper. This is they just handed Pauper your Tron answer on a plate. We're not going to unban Sinkhole for you, but we'll give you this, I guess was the... I haven't heard anybody complain.
Well, we got Relic Robber. If you're into goblins hurting people.
Goblins are on point for this set, by the way, so far. Anyway, guys.
This also sounds good out of the gate. A red and 2 for a 2/2. So he's a gray ogre with haste, goblin rogue, and then there's another wall of text.
Yeah.
When Relic Robber deals combat damage to a player, that player creates a 0/1 colorless goblin construct artifact creature token with this creature can't block. And at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. So as long as he's getting in for damage, you're giving your opponent something that they can't do anything with. Ones that can't block, and why swing with them?
Right.
You don't need to block them. Trumpet Blast would be fun, though.
Yeah.
But and it's doing damage to him, so pretty sweet. It's pretty on point flavor for goblins.
They just continue goblins being bad at their job. Essentially, I want to hit Valakut Awakening real quick.
Okay, yeah, we need to move it.
I know we are. We're over time. Valakut Awakening. It's a wheel for you at instant speed that's better. It's a red and 2 instant. Put any number of cards from your hand onto the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards, +1.
So it replaces itself?
It replaces itself as well. It's instant speed. It's 3 mana. Upside on this, too, is this is one of our modal double-faced.
It's an MDFC.
This has a enter the battlefield tap red land on the back side of it, which makes it extra cool. This is the favorite one I've seen so far because that's really good card selection for red recently. Especially since it replaces itself.
Yep. So early game, you probably just want to play it as a land and get going, you know.
We got a Shia up there.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to hit it. It's a big...
We can.
Okay.
2 green and 3, star, legendary creature. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types.
Yeah, you just turned all your creatures in the whole. That's cool. Turning creatures into lands. We've turned lands into creatures before.
Yeah, I saw these as picture cards earlier, so I don't know why they don't have them.
Inscription of Abundance, I guess must be the name. I hadn't seen a translated name yet on this. It's a green and 1 instant. It has a kicker of a green and 2. You choose one, but if it was kicked, you can choose any number instead. You put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Target creature gains X, or target player gain X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures the player controls, or target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. It's not bad. Once again, it's very modal, which makes it great. I don't feel like any of those abilities are top tier, but they're all on one card.
And of course, we got the reprint of Lotus Cobra.
Cool.
You know what that is, right? Green and 1, 2/1. It's a snake with landfall. When a land enters, you get a mana of any color in your mana pool.
What's the most important part of this, though? It's downshifted. I don't know if it's been printed in a Masters and downshifted before, but it's now a rare. This was a mythic originally.
Okay, I didn't notice that. Like I said, we talked about that a little
Paragon,
bit.
yeah.
So let's move along because we need to finish it up here.
Hit our multicolors.
Hit some multicolors. I'm just going to hit Cleric of Life's Bond. It's a black and white 2/2 because I'm on my Cleric deck, you know. Vampire Cleric. Whenever another Cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. Geez. I will replay that Cleric that you didn't pay the 3 life. When it dies next time, I'll pay a life.
Oh, that's awful handy.
To draw a card. Yeah. So I kind of like that. And whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Cleric of Life's Bond. So I'm digging on that.
I know we didn't actually get to talk.
Uncommon.
We didn't actually get to talk about Nahiri or Jace last time, did we? Or did we?
I don't know. They've been spoiled for a whole week, so I was just skipping them.
I'm gonna hit Nissa. Is that okay here? We do have the Golgari Nissa.
How about I get Nissa and you get Omnath?
That sounds fair.
Okay. So Nissa is just like we had heard rumors about.
Yep.
She is Golgari, a green, a black, and 2. And, of course, she's a Planeswalker, 4 loyalties, but she has Landfall as a static ability, and when you have a land enter, she gets a loyalty. That's pretty good.
That's awesome landfall. For +1, too.
And she's still got a +1. Untap target land you control. You may have it become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste and menace until end of turn. It's still a land. I like that that's a May also.
Yes.
I don't just open up my land to become dead from a bolt.
Right. And for everybody out there that's still having like horrible Nissa flashbacks, until end of turn. No counters until end of turn.
Right. It's just 3/3 element. And then the neg 5, which is the ulti, you may put a creature card with converted mana costs less than or equal to the number of lands you control onto the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with 2 +1/+1 counters on it.
Jesus.
This is what I want to do in Golgari. This is I'm Selesnya, but I guess I got a pretty strong streak of Golgari in me, so I'm absent.
Depending on the set, I see you hit Golgari pretty hard.
Yeah.
Omnath. We got our 4-color Omnath.
4-color Omnath. For those of you still holding on, 4-color Omnath.
So we got Nano Black.
Yeah.
Nano Black.
Nano Black.
He is a 4/4 legendary elemental. He enters the battlefield. It is Omnath Locus of Creation, by the way. So we went from Locus of Mana to Locus of Rage to Locus of the Royal to Locus of Creation. He enters the battlefield, draw a card. Sweet. Fall here. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life if this is the first time this ability has resolved this turn. If it's the second time, add a red, a green, a white, and a blue. And if it's the third time, Omnath deals 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control.
Third time.
There it is.
Third time.
Third time.
One of the teasers.
This is super awesome because, well, for one, all those abilities are pretty good, but you can't just go crazy with all the lands we can play in a turn these days. You can only trigger this 3 times in a turn. It's trying to make you to trigger it, but you can't trigger it more than 3 times, which is cool.
And we could go over Ora, Skyclave Hierophant, black, white, and 2, because that is actually the buy a box card.
Yes.
So it's in there normally, but you get a special alternate art treatment. A core cleric. She's 3/3. Is it a she?
It's hard.
He. Lifelink. Whenever Aura, Skyclave Hierophant, or another cleric you control dies, I'm already liking this, return target cleric card with lesser converted mana cost from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah.
Oh, you paid 3 life for that last turn. I'm going to get it back now for free.
And you can loop down.
Yep.
If you got your graveyard set up 1, you can loop down to 1. I wanted to hit this guy. I don't know what this is. I haven't even seen this. I'm not sure if I have.
Okay,
I was going to hit this guy.
All right, we need to wrap her up.
Zareth San, I like this guy. The Trickster, if you've watched the trailer, this is the guy that dies in the trailer, by the way. But he is a black, a blue, and 3 for a legendary Merfolk Rogue. He has Flash, and he has Rogue Jitsu. For a black, a blue, and 2, return an unblocked attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand. Put Zareth San, the Trickster, from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Whenever Zareth San deals combat damage to a player, did I just put him down, tapped and attacking and not blocked? Well, that's handy. You may put target permanent card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That seems super awesome. Is that what we? Yeah, that may be.
Wasn't that one? A multicolored creature lets you repeatedly reanimate permanents out of your opponent's graveyard for no mana.
Zareth San, the Trickster. It is super cool, and it is Rogue Jutsu, guys.
Yep.
That's ninjutsu, but with rogues. It's just a cool card. I like the flavor. I actually really want to get a rogues deck together for standard after Zendikar drops.
Okay, so we have Zagras, Thief of... Where is...
Heartbeat, maybe? I'm
going
to go with Heartbeat.
They've got a translation here, but it doesn't have all the words. It's a legendary creature. I don't even know. Thief of Heartbeats. And it's a vampire rogue. A red, a black, and 4, but it has the cost reducer of if you have a full party. So for each one in your party, you get to reduce it by 1. So if you had a full party, it's just a red and a black.
He's got the... Oh, no.
Flying, Death Touch, and Haste.
Oh.
That's all good. It's a 4/4, but we're not done. Other creatures you control have Death Touch. Still not done. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a planeswalker, destroy him. That planeswalker is dead. Destroy that planeswalker.
So it's got planeswalker death touch as well.
Yeah, planeswalker's dead.
We got to come up with a good name for that eventually, but
apparently, yes, we do.
They've been using it a bit now. But that's the big stuff, guys.
That's the big stuff that we know so far. We just kind of wanted to get it out there. We're probably missing a few things.
Yeah.
We're running really late. We knew we would because there was a lot going on.
There's so much going on, yeah.
So much good things. So much good things.
There are some uncommons that we'll have to get to later that I want to talk about.
Hey, don't forget, next week is my 10th anniversary. If you're still holding on and still watching.
Yeah.
10th anniversry here at the Guild. Nice write-up in the paper. If nobody's seen it,
fantastic.
Go buy a paper.
Mountain Grove Newsletter.
Come out and get a little piece of the sale. Come out and say howdy. Even if you're not going to buy anything, just stop in and say hey. But we've got all kinds of stuff going on. We didn't get to it in the episode, but next week is the 10th anniversary episode of Chatter. Not for Chatter, but for the Guild.
Right.
And we will be busting a box of Mirrodin Besieged faction packs from the pre-release because all of them have bids. But there's still a whole week. You can still win the bid. So all the minimum bids have been met, but I'd like to see some people advancing them. You must advance by $1. So check those out. And
if you like these Zendikar cards as well, couple weeks we'll be doing a box break on Zendikar Rising after.
Maybe two.
I started
a second sign-up sheet.
So don't forget about that. We just went over a whole bunch of cards. Don't forget, we will be doing box breaks on those in a couple weeks because this set's looking bonkers. So...
Hey, guys, thanks for hanging in so long with us. We appreciate y'all that have. If you weren't able to, maybe you come back and you watch it. We appreciate you watching what you did watch. So I believe that's all we've got for now.
That is it for tonight,
So just remember Grove Gamers Guild, where everybody knows your game.